I'm Brian.
Coming up tonight on 23 ABC News at 6, the FDA has approved the first over-the-counter birth control pill. How this could change reproductive care as we know it. Just ahead.
Your air conditioner will likely struggle to help keep your home cool as the hottest weather of the year is expected to hit Kern County this weekend. Quick fixes on how to keep yourself cool just ahead.
Plus, we are remembering the life of Talia Chavarria. We have all the details about our candlelight vigil in sports. 23 ABC News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us for 23 ABC News at 6. I'm Mark Blaine. We avoided triple digits in Bakersfield today, but we're expecting the hottest weekend of the year. And it goes hand in hand. This extreme weather could lead to an increase in power outages. 23 ABC's Ruby Rivera joins us with your options if your air conditioner shuts down. Ruby.
That's right, Mark. Dealing with one hot day of the week isn't too bad, but having consecutive days of excessive heat poses many threats to local communities. PG&E says they're preparing for a surge in use energy this weekend and are ready to respond to any outages.
In Kern County, for example, we've got crews staged there and ready to go and ready to respond. We also make sure that we have an adequate supply of equipment. For example, should there be a transformer failure, that transformer would need to be replaced.
PG&E spokesperson Jeff Smith says power outages are mostly caused when the electric grid is being overused. This is typically between the hours of 4 and 9 p.m. when people are getting off work. Smith says there are ways to reduce your energy use during this time period, but it takes some planning.
The coolest temperatures are going to be in the very early morning hours. So if you're able to open your windows, let the cool air in early in the morning and kind of open your blinds, open your curtains, that type of thing. Let that cool air in.
This type of daily action is also promoted by Ohm Connect, a nationwide energy-saving company that pays people for saving energy. Chief Executive Officer for Ohm Connect, Cisco DeVries, says taking advantage of these early, cooler hours is key to saving energy.
Don't do your laundry till after 9 p.m. early next week, because the power is going to be very expensive. The grid's going to be really challenged, and you can be lazy. Put it off until later.
DeVries says this action could also save people $5 to $10 daily. Ohm Connect sends customers reminders of when to reduce energy to lower the strain on the grid, looking at your meter, and then paying you depending on how much you've saved. Aside from changing your laundry schedule, DeVries says turning on your AC prior to peak hours and not using your oven to cook are some quick tips that you can try at home. But he also provides tips for when you do need to use energy.
If you're not using certain rooms, close the vents and close the doors. So focus on cooling the parts of the house you're in and let the other parts of the house with the doors closed and your air conditioning vent closed up.
Smith says while PG&E wants people to conserve energy during this heat warning, they also want people to stay safe and to only follow tips that are going to benefit your overall health.
Most important thing under these circumstances, well, we do obviously encourage conservation and for folks to take whatever steps they can. The most important thing is safety, and so
Both companies say things like closing your blinds and using lamps for lighting or putting ice behind a fan to help you stay cool and save energy during this heat wave. In studio, Ruby Rivera, 23 ABC News, connecting you.
Ruby, thanks so much. And during this heat wave, a reminder to not forget about your pets. We have some information from the SPCA about how you can keep your four-legged family members safe from the heat. Like a child, never leave your pet in a hot vehicle, not even for a few minutes. The temperature inside a car can quickly reach 120 degrees, even with the windows cracked. Also, limit exercising your pet on hot days. Go outside in the early morning or late evening hours. Walk your pet on the grass if possible to avoid hot surfaces burning their paws. And finally, if your pet is outside, make sure they have access to shade and plenty of cool water.
All very good tips that we're definitely going to need to keep in mind as we get into this weekend. We said it off the top of the show, this is going to be the hottest weekend of the year so far. Today, though, not quite there. In fact, surprisingly cool today. I figured we'd break 100. We did not. 99 degrees. So that means our heat wave is going to start tomorrow, and it is definitely going to start tomorrow. There is virtually no chance that we stay below 100. In fact, the forecast high tomorrow, 108 degrees here in Bakersfield. That already would be the hottest day of the year so far, and this is not even the hottest day of the forecast. And we'll look at how high those temperatures are going to climb coming later in the show. But just to give you an idea, there's the 100-degree mark. This bolder white line is our forecast high. we are way above that as far as we can forecast. This is going to be a very long and very intense heat wave heading our way, the second of the year. Small sliver of Kern County under a heat advisory, the rest of us under an excessive heat warning starting tomorrow all the way through Monday. And again, we'll have a more detailed breakdown of this heat heading our way later in the show.
Brandon, thank you very much. We do appreciate it. If you need a place to cool off this weekend, the Kern County Cooling Centers will be available. All of the local centers will be open on both Saturday and Sunday, with the exception that the Fraser Park Center will be closed on Sunday. For more specific information on the center's locations, visit our website, turnto23.com. And Bakersfield city officials say they will also have a few cooling sites open that people can use to escape the heat this weekend. They will be opening the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Community Center both Saturday and Sunday from noon to 5 p.m. The center is located at 1000 South Owen Street. The city is also offering the Valley Children's Ice Center as a location for the public to cool off. It will be open from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. tomorrow and from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Sunday. The Ice Center is located at 1325 Q Street. Today, many are hailing the FDA's landmark decision to greenlight the nation's first over-the-counter birth control pill that will soon allow women and girls in the U.S. to buy contraceptive medication as easily as aspirin. But this expansion of access is being met with some pushback as some states continue seeking to restrict reproductive rights. ABC's M. Nguyen has the latest from Washington.
It's a historic move many are hailing as a game changer in reproductive care. The FDA approving the nation's first daily oral contraceptive pill that can be bought over the counter without a prescription. The medication is called Opill, and it's been on the market for 50 years.
It's just a truly historic moment for us.
Advocates say the FDA's decision will remove certain barriers for women, like paying for a doctor's visit or finding time off from work. One survey finds 77% of women say they want birth control pills without a prescription.
Easy access is the best access, in my opinion.
But Opill will not have an age limit for sales, which some question whether it will be safe for young girls, especially those who may not consult their parents.
I feel a little bit sad because, women are left with that option as their last resort, really.
But an independent advisory panel found the progestin-only pill posed fewer risks than other estrogen-reliant contraceptives. Perrigo also noting they do not recommend use in females who have not had their first menstrual cycle. This comes as some states continue seeking to restrict access to abortion services. In Iowa, protests erupting at the Capitol where state Republicans pushed through a bill restricting most abortions after 6 weeks. Today, Governor Kim Reynolds expected to sign that legislation into law, though it's already facing legal challenges. An Iowa judge is set to consider a request to postpone that ban. This split screen punctuating the bitter battle between those for and against reproductive rights across the nation. The price for Opill has not been disclosed, but non-prescribed medications are generally not covered by insurance. It would take legislative action by Congress to mandate insurers to cover over-the-counter birth control. M. Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
Before you open that next can of diet soda, you may want to consider a new warning about the sweetener in that drink. The World Health Organization now says aspartame could cause cancer, but other experts say that warning may be overblown. Aspartame is commonly found in diet sodas, sugar-free gum, and tabletop sweeteners. The WHO's International Agency for Research on Cancer is now classifying aspartame as a carcinogen, meaning it's capable of causing cancer, specifically liver cancer. But the agency warns more research is needed. Many experts here in the U.S. are highly critical of the report.
I think that it's unfortunate that IR puts this out because they're really not involved with the actual safety assessment of substances. And this is only going to add to confusion and alarm in the public, and it's totally unnecessary.
Experts say this report does not mean people should change their lifestyle as long as they consume only a moderate amount of aspartame. The WHO says the acceptable daily level for a person weighing about 155 pounds is the equivalent of up to 14 cans of diet soda per day, but it's highly suggested to never drink that much of any soda in one day. And the CDC is facing big funding cuts, and some of the effects will be felt at the state and local level. The agency is poised to lose about $1.3 billion in funds as a result of last month's federal debt ceiling negotiation. The money was initially allocated through COVID-19 supplemental funding. The cuts will directly impact state and local health departments. Still ahead sometimes, all you need to feel good is to look good. Coming up in tonight's Positive Story, learn about an organization in Baltimore helping give free haircuts to homeless veterans. Affording a home usually means having a job, and that can be hard to get for a person living on the street. A haircut and a little confidence could go a long way. Lacey Griffith takes a look at a Baltimore area nonprofit that's providing both in tonight's Positive Story.
I like the regular one. All I have to do is sit in my office and There's a buzz at the Baltimore station. Members of All Free Cuts, a community group based in Baltimore, rolled up their sleeves and picked up a pair of clippers to offer hope in the form of a free haircut to individuals in need.
When you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you do good. When you do good, you are good.
All Free Cuts was formed in February and also serves parts of Calvert and Charles counties. But this stop is at the Baltimore station, an innovative residential treatment program where members share a common vision of uplifting those in need and creating positive change within communities.
It helps with job interview skills. It helps with kind of abilities to maybe reconnect with family. It's a really good way to build that confidence to go back out there.
The overall program has done a whole lot for me. I'm from Washington, D.C., so I come here to Baltimore Station to get my life back together, and so far it's working very well for me.
Donald says he's been an alcoholic for a long time, but since being here, hasn't thought about a drink, and the haircut is an added bonus.
Oh, man, awesome. It's great, just great. That's another confidence builder. When I'm looking like $1 million now, so I'm ready to go out to the world and show them what Donald is all about.
And it's personal for Tim Grau and Christopher Jones. They tell us they met in prison. Both had a passion for cutting hair, so now they're giving back in hopes of lifting up others in the process.
I did almost 10 years in prison, cut almost 40,000 heads. That was my conditioning for doing what I'm doing now. I didn't get an air dollar for none of those heads. So it's not about the money for me today. It's about delivering a message, your testimony, your experience, your strength, and your hope.
It was a situation where somebody else was telling my story. So being around people who's unprivileged and people that's dealing with addictions and stuff like that is not only teaching them that they have the power to take their story back, because each one teach one. And all it takes is somebody to actually reach a helping hand. And that's what happened in my story.
Now, Christopher is taking control of his story by helping others rewrite their own story, one haircut at a time.
Okay, time to talk weather, and Brandon, all the talk is about the triple-digit temperatures this weekend. Huh?
Yeah, no surprise there. This is just going to be brutal heat that's heading our way. Everyone knows it by now, but we're going to tell you again, it's going to be the hottest weekend of the year so far. Let's take a look at the big picture there. Just kind of zoom in, focus on Bakersfield. You can see we're almost right in the center of that circle, and that circle is a very hot air mass that is going to be sitting right on top of us. That was tomorrow's forecast you were looking at there. This is Monday as we play it through time. It doesn't change very much. This very hot air is still built in over California and the rest of the Southwest. Our temperatures are going to be right around 108 for the next several days. And by Sunday here in the valley, I think we'll break 110 here. So current conditions, we are under 100 right now here in Bakersfield. That is the best news I can give you for the entire forecast. That's not going to last very long. Over 110 already for parts of the desert, and to mid-90s for Lake Isabella. But pretty much everyone is going to be going up from there. Even the overnight lows tonight are pretty warm. We're barely going to break 80 for some of the desert areas, only about mid-70s for the overnight low here in Bakersfield. And of course, the highs tomorrow, very hot. So far, the hottest day of the year in Bakersfield is 107. We have a very good chance of beating that tomorrow, and it's not even the hottest day of the forecast. And we're not even, again, the hottest place across the county. China Lake and Ridgecross close to 115. Even Tehachapi up over 100 for tomorrow. And it just gets worse as we get into Sunday. 117 for China Lake and Ridgecrest, about 115 for Cal City, close to 110 in the Kern River Valley, and we're going to be over 110 here in Bakersfield. I'm going 113, the high temperature here for Sunday. That will be the hottest day of the forecast, and there's a good chance that will be the hottest day of the entire year. Really, this is the hottest stretch of the year, so we'd expect this heat right now. Just a quick look at the statewide view through the weekend. This is Saturday or tomorrow's forecast. You can see it's a little bit better toward the coast, so you can beat the heat if you're willing to drive a little bit. Same thing is true on Sunday, and of course right on the water it'll be quite a bit better, but this heat is going to be widespread across the state. The entire Central Valley certainly dealing with this, and of course pretty much every inland location the same thing. For tomorrow, we're going to spend most of the afternoon, if not all of the afternoon, in the triple digits. It's not going to be until after sunset that we finally cool off. 113 on Sunday. Again, that'll be our hottest day. 110 on Monday is pretty close. And finally, at the end of the forecast, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we get a little bit of progress there, but still triple digits. Our heat wave starts tomorrow, and it's going to last a long time. The second heat wave of the year. Mountain areas here. Lake Isabella close to 110 by the time we get to Sunday. Tehachapi, Fraser Park right around 100. A little bit warmer as usual in Tehachapi. Tiny bit of progress as we head towards the end of the forecast, but no significant cool down on the way.
Brandon, thanks so much for that. Coming up, find out where you can honor the life of Bakersfield's Thalia Chavarria next in sports.
The 23 ABC Sports Desk is sponsored by the personal injury lawyers of Young Wooldridge.
Talia Chavarria's life will be honored tonight during a candlelight vigil at Surf Fields in Northwest Bakersfield. Las Cruces police found Talia in her home unresponsive on Tuesday. Her mom, Mandy, posted a comment on Instagram saying she died from a seizure. Talia graduated from Frontier in 2021. She made an immediate impact for the women's soccer team at New Mexico State. Talia started 17 games her freshman year and 20 during her sophomore year. Talia's mom, Mandy, tweeted out her appreciation for all the love and support the family has received. The address for tonight's vigil is 15440 Hageman Road, and it starts at 8:30. The Cal State Bakersfield men's basketball team got their Big West Conference schedules this week. CSUB will host their first Big West game of the year on December 30th against Big West regular season champions UC Irvine. In total, the Runners have 10 conference games this season, plus there's a new change this year. Only the top 8 teams in the conference will be eligible for the Big West tournament. The women's basketball team is looking to build on their Big West tournament run last season. They made the Big West semifinals for the first time in program history. The Runners start conference play at home on December 28th against UC San Diego. Bakersfield native Taylor Caldwell also announced she will come back to play her graduate season at CSUB. The California Meltdown Special Needs Hockey Jamboree is happening downtown tomorrow at noon at the Valley Children's Ice Center. It is being hosted by the local Bakersfield Oilers Special Needs Hockey Club, and it's sanctioned by the American Special Hockey Association. It will feature 5 special need hockey teams throughout California. The Jamboree is open to the public and free to attend. And Mark, what a perfect place to be on a hot day inside with ice all around you.
I would think the same thing. You want to be near the ice.
Exactly.
As warm as it's going to be.
Also want to mention MLB action. Corbin Burns pitching right now for the Brewers. Dodgers up 4-0 against the Mets.
Okay. Oh, Mets?
Yeah.
Okay. Mets
Baseball's
tonight.
back.
Baseball is back.
Yeah.
Back from the All-Star break. We'll be right back. How about this? The one and only Monster Jam is returning to Bakersfield, and they'll be tearing it up this weekend at Mechanics Bank Arena. Fans can see the massive trucks up close, meet their favorite drivers and crews, get autographs, take pictures, and much more. There's 2 shows tomorrow at 1 p.m. and again at 7 p.m. and at 1 p.m. and at 1 p.m. show on Sunday. Tickets are still available online at axis.com. The Powerball jackpot keeps on climbing after no one won Wednesday's drawing. The big prize is now up to an estimated $875 million, the 3rd largest grand prize ever. The next drawing is scheduled for Saturday. For those who can't wait until then, Mega Millions has a drawing tonight. After no winner Tuesday, that jackpot is now up to an estimated $560 million. A lot of money anyway. Anyway, you shake it out.
You could probably stretch that out. You know?
Yeah. Either one's fine.
Yeah.
Buy a monster truck.
Buy a
there
monster
you go.
truck.
Pay your utility bill from this weekend.
Honestly.
Monster money on a monster truck. Well, that's all our time here at 6. Hope to see you back here at 7. In the meantime, have a great evening and stay safe out there.